mixing it up in 2020. There is no intro or B-roll or anything before the actual review. So that's why all my videos are going to look different. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel, and this is my review for the new film Underwater. This movie was directed by William Eubank, and it stars Kristen Stewart and Vincent Cassel. This is about a group of engineers who are drilling at the bottom of the ocean, and they unleash something at the bottom of this ocean that becomes deadly, and so it is up to a small group of these engineers to try to get to a certain station underwater so they can travel back up to the surface and survive these horrifying monsters. 2020. This is my second movie that I've watched this year. The first one was The Grudge, and that movie was horrible. This is January. Usually movies in January tend to be not great, not very good, but I'm going to give my honest opinion about Underwater, because this movie is not a typical January film. I actually had some fun with this movie. I think this movie, it's not amazing or anything like that, but I think what this movie offers is fun. There's a lot of fun to be had. I love the thriller aspects of this movie, and I really love that this movie feels like it's its own thing, even though it definitely takes a lot of elements from the obvious Alien, whether we're talking about Cloverfield. So it definitely has that same vibe and that similar vibe, especially coming from a Fox film. But this movie is better than your average replacement Cloverfield Paradox type of film, because this movie actually feels fun. It feels adventurous and it feels exciting. There are so many moments in this movie that are layered with the emotion that certain characters are feeling. There's also layers of great action, great sci-fi, great horror every now and then. So I really like what they do with this movie. I think it's not a great movie, but I do think that this movie does enough to keep you invested all the way through. Now I'm going to tell you my cons of this movie, because there are a couple. The first big one to me is that they were pushing this relationship in this film between two characters, and it never felt real. They never give you an inkling that these two characters are together. Other characters in context just go, hey, you're a girl, or oh, you love her, or you love him. It's kind of stupid. So there's no emotional boundary or emotional connection you have with that relationship, and you don't really get invested in all of the characters other than really Kristen Stewart's character and Vincent Cassel's characters. I thought they were serviceable. I don't think that they were amazing or anything like that. I think Kristen Stewart does a good enough job in the acting department to make her character interesting. But other than that, I didn't really care about any of these characters. Another issue I have with this movie is that this movie, even though it starts in the action, it really doesn't have any setup to it. I feel like that's a little bit of a disservice to the film, because if this movie would have had setup, we would have at least had some type of emotional connection or this dread to us watching the film as audience members. But because you really don't know these characters, you kind of just conveniently see these characters pop up on screen, there is no emotional connection to any of them. Not just the two that are in the relationship, but really you don't care about any of them, because the main protagonist of this film is Kristen Stewart. The pros to me outweigh the cons, because I do think that this movie has great structure. It just felt very rushed. And that's the issue with kind of Disney pushing this film out, like basically not caring about this film whatsoever. You can tell that they just truly did not care about this movie. They just wanted to push it out just to push it out. But the movie does a very good job for being a film that just kind of feels pushed out and not marketable, not profitable, not good. It felt like a movie to me that was going to be pretty bad, but it ended up being a fun time at the theater. I can't really get into specifics. It's just like an average, fun, good movie. It might be worth your time, but I could definitely see people not wanting to waste their money, or, you know, not wanting to go out and travel during the snowy season to go see this movie. So you can definitely wait to stream it, but I do think that it's a fun time, and if you go to the theater to watch it, I think you'll have some fun with it. And let me just say this, I think part of the problem that I have with this movie, and the reason why I do have some cons with it, I probably would have enjoyed it more, but my experience sitting in the theater in this film was very frustrating. There were people behind me who were very loud. There was a girl constantly kicking the back of my seat the entire time. She kept talking out loud and yelling out loud, and it just really got to the point where I just was not enjoying my experience. So that's probably why I'm not really being very specific and what I like or what I don't like about this film. I'm not trying to give an excuse. I'm just saying that I would have had a better time and remembered a lot more things if I wasn't so frustrated throughout the entire film with the people sitting behind me. So be courteous to others when you're sitting in the theater, please, or else you're going to end up on a YouTube video. They're going to throw shade at you. Anyway, guys, what did you think of Underwater? Let me know down below in the comment section of this video. Make sure you guys drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel for more content just like this. And as always, I'll see you guys in my next video. Goodbye.